I've been in footwear for maybe a little over 20 or so years. I can't say there's been more than 5 or 6 bad days. It's a very fun place to work. It always has been. Almost everyone that I've worked with is here because they enjoy the stuff that we do. Never really wanting a true desk job, wanting a job that allows you to still do the sports that you love. I oversee what we call go-to-market, which is sort of the marketing, the storytelling, but telling those stories through the vehicle of product. Our primary responsibilities are to work very closely with our consumer group to glean insights from them and be able to translate those into a design brief. Consumers don't normally ask directly for what they want, but they will describe what they like or a feel or a certain attitude. Having well-honed communication skills matters on every level, from being able to communicate clearly to a designer what insight you're trying to translate, and then being able to translate why to a senior management team. If you're talking about consumer immersion and I want to build a boot for someone who's going to hike the PCT, the only way you can do that is to put your backpack on and take a couple weeks and go do that, which is it's awesome.
I've been in this business for a long time. I started in the fashion industry in New York City. When you go to New York City or Los Angeles, you see a fashion-driven, style-driven market. For the first year and a half, I didn't feel completely satisfied because I feel like there's a functional engineering side of me that's missing. When I tumble into the running shoe business, I just found that I found my dream. I get to run every day, I get to design running shoes for me, and your product is judged by how well it performs rather than how cool it looks. And if it looks cool, that's a bonus. One of the first items of all the product briefs these guys give me is the target consumer profile. That's like the biggest part at the beginning. I have to understand who I am talking to.
I grew up in the San Juan Islands. I actually grew up on a sailboat, so 5 of us on a 36-foot sailboat. That definitely gave, the love of the outdoors, because that really was our world when you only have a few feet to live in. The business unit director or senior merchandise manager, we manage the creation process. So we have to know what the trends are and the market's doing and our competition, and really depends on, so many factors. We do want to create, fun, on trend or whatever product, but it does have to serve a purpose and make sense for the brand. We have some products that are certified vegan and locally sourced, and we use the rubber from the rubber trees nearby.
I've always been like a sneakerhead, I guess you would call it. I would sit at home, read East Bay magazines, circle stuff that you thought was cool. Just always involved. My job is to take a product brief and a 2D drawing and turn it into a 3D sample. I think the hardest part is that there are a lot of limitations in technology. You can draw anything you want, but if we don't have that technology, or if we don't have a certain material that's going to fit in a certain area, it's just not going to work. I think the developer's job is to bring multiple options to the table and say, this is what we can choose from. These are the pros and cons of each, and let's sit down and talk about how we can make the best product with what we have to use and also what we can afford.
The reason the consumer is so important in the industry we are in is because they're ever changing, especially in the kind of age of information that we live in. And so the expectations continue to rise about product perfection in terms of how it delivers that experience or how it enables an experience to unfold for someone. There just honestly is no excuse any longer for mediocre product. The good product teams I've either been a part of or helped along the way at some point share a common set of goals and a common dedication to serving a specific tribe of consumers who share a passion for something. And I think the best teams typically have a passion for that activity as well.
Ultimately, you're building products, and if it doesn't fit, if it doesn't work, you're done anyway. But you then want to finish it off with what is the story behind it? What will it do? What can it enable you to do? What sort of things will it unlock? What we would try to do as a marketing team is go out and gain some insight and find what is it that you're trying to achieve or accomplish. Hike further, climb a mountain, win a race, whatever that is. the performance can unlock a certain story.
My challenge always take the consumer profiles that they give me and the story that Jeff and Johanna wants to tell and turn that into one picture. And that picture has to tell the story without saying any words in any language, and it should connect with the hiker, whether you are from China or from England.
I think more than selling them a product, you're selling them a lifestyle. You're selling them something they can take out and use and do the things that they love to do with. And if you have fans as loyal as Keen does, it's not that hard.
If you care about the environment, if you're an outdoor enthusiast, that's why we're all here.
When people ask me, Kirk, why are you proud to work at Keen? The story I always like to tell them is Keen has made a demonstrable difference in the defense of public lands in this great country. Through the charitable donations and the strategic philanthropy that we've invested in, are in a far better place for people who share our passion about recreating outdoors and having a playground to do that in.